aimed at cushioning customers. He says the reduction of fuel taxes and the G2G fuel import agreement have played a critical role in stabilizing prices. He added that without these measures, the cost of fuel would have risen significantly, placing a heavier financial burden on Kenyans who are already grappling with the high cost of living.
That cost for those three products went up by those margins. 42% for petrol, 69% for diesel, and 105% for kerosene. And therefore it was critical that the government, under the directive of His Excellency the President, took the measures it took. Those two actions were not taken. The price of super petrol would have been 217 shillings per litre. And the price of diesel would have been 236 shillings per litre. And the price of kerosene would have been 261 shillings per litre.
And former Deputy President Gachagua has continued to criticize President William Ruto during his ongoing tour. Gachagua said the president is out of touch with reality, pointing to remarks about fuel as an example of poor leadership. He also added that many Kenyans are struggling with illness and cannot afford medical care. The opposition leader called on the government to improve services at Kenyatta National Hospital before engaging in political debates. On the Social Health Authority, Gachagua accused Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale of failing to address challenges in the scheme and instead focus on mismanagement of health funds. Other leaders, including Cleophas Malala, supported his remarks during the tour. Gachagua addressed residents in Kawangware and parts of Dagoretti North and South as he continues to campaign against the current administration.
Nimeona Kasongo akiongea akiwa Mandera. Anasema ati akina Rigiji ati vile wanaambia Wakenya ukweli ati ni wagonjwa wapelekwe hospitali. Wacha nikuambie Kasongo, Wakenya wanauliza mtu ambaye amechanganyikiwa anasema pikipiki inatumia mafuta ya taa ni mgonjwa si mgonjwa? Kasongo, kama unataka kusaidia wagonjwa, tumejaa maharabee kila weekend kwa sababu SHA haifanyi kazi. Kama umekuwa na haja ya kusaidia wagonjwa, ufanye juhudi SHA ianze kufanya kesa, wagonjwa wasaidike. Tena tumeona ukiambia Duale ati asaidie wagonjwa. Duale hapana daktari, Duale ni mwizi wa pesa ya wagonjwa. Duale ni mwizi si mwizi?
USA na Iran wamefungua pale mali meli zinapita. William Ruto, tumekuambia kwa siku 7 kama hii mafuta haitapunguka tutafanya maandamano. Na tumeambiwa, si mnaona kila siku watu wanaenda State House kukula mchele na nyama. William Ruto, tunataka kukuambia sisi maandamano yetu hatutafanyia kwa kijiji. Tutakuja kukula hiyo mchele yako hapo State House.
Now, President William Ruto has said his administration is correcting past mistakes that led to long-standing discrimination against Kenyans living in the northeastern region. Speaking at Mandera Stadium in the company of leaders from the area, the president assured residents that they will now receive equal treatment and access to government services like other Kenyans. He urged locals to register for national identification cards to fully benefit from government services. The president also noted that the scrapping of the vetting process has reduced hurdles that had previously locked out many residents, especially those leaving the country's borders.
Wakati mimi nimeondoa masharti ya vetting, bado tuko na wananchi wengi, vijana, kina mama, wazee ambao hawajapata nafasi ya kujiandikisha na kupata kitambulisho. Ile ambayo tayari imeandikishwa iko Nairobi, hiyo ni kazi kidogo. Hiyo nitafanya. Na hiyo ni kazi ya 1 week kama 2 weeks. Ile kazi ya muhimu zaidi ni kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao hawajapata kitambulisho, hawajapata nafasi ya kuandikishwa, na tuko na wao wengi, na tutawaeleza sehemu gani tunataka wao wapate nafasi kwa sababu ni Wakenya, na hatutaki ile ubaguzi ya zamani iliyobagua watu. Mtu akitenda kutafuta kitambulisho anaulizwa maswali kutoka hapa mpaka Dar es Salaam.
Sisi wa Kenya tutasimama. Nilikuwa Bungoma last week. Watu wa Western Kenya wameniambia hawakuona maendeleo ambayo wanaona under your leadership. Ulikuwa Kisii, uko Mandera leo. The next election will be a contest between tribalists and those who believe Kenya belongs to them alone, and against President William Ruto, who wants to leave a legacy that every community from El Molo to the largest, every county, however small or big, every community and every religion will be recognized as citizens of our country.
And moving on, the Secretary General of Central Organization of Trade Unions, Francis Atwoli, has described the rising fuel prices in the country as a global issue. He warned local leaders against politicizing the matter and attempting to present it as a purely domestic problem. Speaking during a shop stewards meeting, Atwoli described the increase in fuel costs to international factors. These include disruptions linked to tension between Iran and United States, particularly around the Strait of Hormuz. He emphasized that leaders who ignore such global influences demonstrate a limited understanding of how international markets operate. The annual meeting held ahead of the 58th Labor Day celebrations also addressed challenges facing shop stewards and outlined strategies for recruiting more members.
For the benefit of our worker, lazima ujiulize, that is the first question. If you know you will be taken on the street and you lose your job, and the purpose of going to the street is not of increasing your salary, it's not of protecting your job, it's not of improving your terms and conditions of service, ambia huyo mtu bwana, mimi sio mjinga bwana. Because every politician and politics, they are not really. Hiyo ndio kitu nataka ujue ukikaa hivyo. Sulman, wewe ni mtu wa Mombasa, wewe ni Mswahili sana. Waswahili wanasema siasa si hasa. Siasa si kweli. Because it is an industry which you cannot see its factory. So ukisikia mambo mengine ni matamu sana, lakini ukiyafuata unapata we are coming out. If we did support it blindly.
And Deputy Secretary General of the Ore Democratic Movement, Catherine Omayo, has warned that she could reconsider the party's participation in the broad-based government if the rising cost of living continues to worsen. She expressed concerns that many ordinary Kenyans are being burdened by increasing fuel prices and other economic challenges. Omayo said she remains committed to defending vulnerable citizens and will continue speaking out against injustice. Even while cooperating with the government of President William Ruto, she also urged the government to take action against cartels alleging contributing to high fuel prices, questioning why fuel remains expensive in Kenya compared to some landlocked countries.
We cannot be serving landlocked countries, and in their nations, the fuel price is lower. It doesn't make sense. Hata kama ulianguka hesabu na huku kwa unashika mita kwa darasa, it doesn't make sense. Wewe pita saenda Malaba across, wauliza wananunua mafuta pesa ngapi? And then come back to Kenya, just here. Wewe unanunua mafuta pesa ngapi? And then uulize tanki zao zimepanga laini kuanzia Malaba paka Kibaiti. Zinaenda Uganda. Kupeleka hiyo mafuta. So zetu ziko wapi pia zipange laini kuanzia Mombasa? Zileta hiyo mafuta cheap.
And pro-government leaders in Murang'a County have come out clear to strongly defend the government against criticism from the opposition. Led by Alice Wahome, the leaders accused opposition figures of spreading misinformation among residents. They claimed that the opposition is trying to turn the public against ongoing government development programs in the region. The leaders urged residents to ignore such claims and instead support government initiatives aimed at improving livelihoods. They reaffirmed their commitment to ensuring that development projects continue without disruption.
Serikali haina mpango wowote wa kutumia system zetu za ICT ya kuzima mitambo ya social media ama kunyima Wakenya haki yao ya kuongea, ya kutambaza information ambayo wako nayo kwa uhuru. Nyumba ambayo ni za affordable housing, Wakenya na porojo, nyumba tunajenga na tutamaliza. Kazi kwa hakika inaendelea. Usiwe na wasiwasi. Rais anauliza kazi ya kila constituency.
Now, a section of leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza coalition is now urging calm and unity between the United Democratic Alliance and the Oro Democratic Movement. The leaders said the growing political tension between the two parties risk undermining national cohesion and development if left unchecked. They're calling on political actors to focus on issues-based engagement and avoid confrontational politics as the country prepares for the 2027 general election. The appeal emphasizes the need for leaders to promote dialogue, cooperation, and mutual respect in order to maintain stability and safeguard the country's democratic process.
Konayo mingi saa hizi ni ile ya mafuta, kusema mafuta imepanda, si ndio? Dunia mzima mafuta bei imepanda, sawa sawa. In fact, Mheshimiwa William Ruto amesaidia Wakenya kwa sababu ameshukisha ile VAT ya mafuta kutoka 16% ameileta 8% ili aweze kusaidia bei isipande juu sana.
Ule mwanaume kama Gachagua, mwanaume wako amebeba zake mbili, anatakia nini mama? Mwanaume timam, mwanaume anatakia nini? Wewe kama Gachagua uko na maneno, kama uko na maneno, waachana na Susan Kihika, waachana na Cecily Mbarire, waachana na kina Gladys Wanga, waachana na mrembo wa Bahati.
Kama UDA na ODM na broad based, tunajua penye tumetoka, tunajua penye tunaenda. Nataka niambie ndugu zangu wa UDA wenye wanaongea maneno mingi, wachana na watu wa ODM wapange nyumba yao. Na sisi wote ni kitu moja, na tulikubaliana tukasema sisi ni broad based.
Now, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers in Nyeri branch has threatened to withdraw from the Social Health Authority medical cover agreement over concerns about outpatient capping. Union officials say the cap is limiting access to essential healthcare services for teachers, leaving many unable to fully benefit from the scheme. They are now calling on the government to urgently scrap the outpatient limits, warning that failure to act will force members to exit the program. The teachers argue that the current arrangement does not adequately address the healthcare needs and could negatively impact their well-being. The union maintains that reforms are necessary to ensure teachers receive comprehensive and reliable medical cover.
There is capping that has been introduced, especially in the lower level hospitals. This one, as couped nearly, we say no. It must be removed in all the hospitals, and all the hospitals must operate on fee-for-service system. That is one. Secondly, there is a charges that we understand has been introduced. That is for the system. Why is the government charging hospitals for the system? For every claim, the hospitals are being charged 2%. This one is unacceptable. It should not happen, because we know by end of it all, the burden will still come to the patients. So as Coupet again, we say this charge must be stopped.
And moving on, the government has intensified efforts to expand job opportunities for young people across the country. Graduates from technical institutions have been encouraged to focus on creativity and innovation in order to match the changing demands of the job market. Speaking during the third graduation ceremony of more than 3,000 students at Matili Technical College in Bungoma County, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, Kipchumba Murkomen, noted that the government has invested heavily in technical and vocational training institutions. He added that these investments aim to equip the youth with practical skills that can help them become self-reliant and competitive in various industries.
There may be 1,000 plumbers, but there might be only 5 good plumbers of excellence. There might be 100 drivers, but there are only 2, 3, or 4 good drivers. So if you want to place yourself in a position that you will be sought after, you will be the most sought after plumber, the most sought after electrician, the most sought after mason, the most sought after chef, you must ensure that you are excellent in what you do.
Tukaanza mpango ya kumaliza wale wasichana ambao wanakuwa housemaids katika miji tofauti hapa Kenya na vijana ambao wanakuwa wanachima ng'ombe katika sehemu tofauti.
Now, Internal Security Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo has called on border operators across the country to work closely with security agencies in addressing rising insecurities. Speaking in Malindi Town, Kilifi County, during a forum with riders, Omolo highlighted the need for joint efforts to curb harassment and criminal activities targeting riders, women and leaders and business people. He noted that enhanced cooperation between the government and border fraternity is key to improving safety and restoring order in affected areas. The PS also commended riders for their continued support to government initiatives, saying their leadership has played an important role in helping resolve security challenges.
County Commander na timu yako, nataka kupitia hawa viongozi kuanzia na Chairman John Rando, tujue ni vipi tunaweza tatua ili tatizo la usalama, haswa ile ya vijana ambao umesema ni vijana wapotovu ambao wanahangaisha sio tu wana bodaboda, pia wanahangaisha wakina mama, wanahangaisha viongozi, hata wafanyabiashara.
Tunaona jambo kama hili likifanyika katika sehemu zile tuweze kuelezea, kwa sababu wale ambao walikuwa wanapeleka hao majamaa kwenda pale kichakani, wengi walikuwa ni sisi.
Katika masuala ya usalama wa Malindi, bwana PS, mambo si mazuri, mambo si mazuri. As we speak, ikifika saa 12 hawa wanabodaboda ambao leo umekuja kuwasaidia.
Hundreds of youth in Mombasa have taken part in the work to encourage voter registration among residents. The youth, under the banner of Team Discipline, moved through different parts of Changamwe on Saturday morning, encouraging locals and urging them to register as voters. They were joined by a section of local leaders who supported the initiative and emphasized the importance of youth participation in the electoral process. The group expressed concerns that several counties have not yet reached the target set for voter registration, calling on more young people to turn up and register.
Anataka pwani kieleweke. Kieleweka ni kurejista kura, ama sio? Tumeelewana? Kieleweka ni kufanya nini? Sasa leo uambie jirani yako, wewe mwenyewe rejista kura. Mungu atatusaidia tuwe na kura mingi in this region.
Nimeona kuna vijana na warembo wingi hapa. Wangapi ambao wana pasipoti hapa? Wangapi ambao hawana pasipoti hapa? Uko wingi, sio? Sasa mimi sijui tutafanya vipi.
Ikiwa registration yetu ya voters iko chini, hata mgao wetu pia vile vile unakuwa uko chini pia vile vile. Alafu katika meza ya kugawanya keki ya nchi, unaulizwa wewe umeleta watu wangapi? Kama waziri wetu, Waziri Joho, akienda kule katika meza ya kitaifa anaulizwa, katika Mombasa County wewe umeleta watu wangapi? Na kama wewe
Now, Kenya's tourism sector stakeholders are now shifting focus to diversify travel experiences across the country. They are encouraging visitors to explore destinations beyond the famous Masai Mara, which has long been the face of Kenya's tourism. New areas such as Laikipia and other parts of the northern circuit are being promoted for their unique wildlife, landscapes, and cultural experiences. Industry players say this move will help attract wider range of tourists while reducing pressure on traditional destinations. The strategy is also expected to boost local economies and open up lesser known regions to both domestic and international travelers.
Half of our business is local. So we have our residents who enjoy Mount Kenya for generations and they keep coming. So there's not one Kenyan, I guess. There's not many Kenyans who don't know Fairmont Mount Kenya Safari Club and Mount Kenya Wildlife Conservancy. But we are on a larger mission to grow the international visitors. And it's a never-ending story. You have to...
Mount Kenya is actually a very beautiful new addition to what we call the traditional circuit, because they're introducing things that are not normal or ordinary to the normal Kenyan circuits.
Understanding that there's more in Kenya than just, the Mara. So the scope of this event was just talking about beyond the Mara, understanding the Laikipia County and also Nanyuki, just understanding.
Half of our business is local. So we have our residents who enjoy Mount Kenya for generations and they keep coming. So there's not one Kenyan, I guess. There's not many Kenyans who don't know Fairmont Mount Kenya Safari Club and Mount Kenya Wildlife Conservancy. But we are on a larger mission to grow the international visitors. And it's a never-ending story. You have to...
Mount Kenya is actually a very beautiful new addition to...
Now, in sports news, Shabana FC has unveiled Osborne Monday as the club's first assistant coach, enhancing the technical bench ahead of the upcoming fixtures. The team is now focusing on tomorrow's Premier League clash against Kakamega Homeboys at Gusii Stadium. Coach Marco says that the squad is well prepared, while organizing secretary Steve Kiama has expressed confidence in the strong home performance.
Good feeling to be back here, and I'm happy to be here to work on the project that the team is planning ahead. Yeah. As a coach, you have to be positive in everything you do. So I'm expecting positive energy coming into Shabana FC. Langu ni kuimeki itoke kwa hiyo position iende.
And KCB Women's Volleyball team will play Gender Light Club in the Africa's Club Championship round of 16 on April 19, 2026 in Egypt. After topping Pool D, they advanced unbeaten after 0-win over Little Team volleyball team. KCB controlled the match with strong serving and attack playing, maintaining their perfect run without dropping a set. Player Malin Terry said the team is confident but focused ahead of the knockout stage, while coach Stephen Munala praised their performance and called for full preparation for the next match.
Zetu mingi zilikuwa zinapotea, but we thank God through attack na services zao tulimanage.
The win against them 3-0, but it wasn't easy. I knew the fighting spirit of my team, and I knew you can make it before they reach 24. We would be at par with them, and that's what exactly happened. But I was worried it wasn't going very good on our side.
And finally, we have come to the end of EBN Weekend Edition. Many thanks for watching. I'm Leticia Afandi. Enjoy the rest of your viewing and have a lovely night.